mission for over 40 years to make the world a happier and healthier place. Once named Detroit's most physical female, she's been a group fitness instructor, sharing her passion with over hundreds of thousands of people. And you say 40 years, maybe she started when she was 10. I don't know.
No, it's over 40 years for sure.
Oh my gosh. Well, she's appeared on VH1, MTV, CMT, Discovery, C-SPAN, Entertainment Tonight, Fox, and now she's on these shows. None other than Shemane Nugent. How are you, Shemane?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm excited to have you. And we had so much fun talking to your hubby, Ted. That was such a great time. And he's an amazing guy. But, you know, it's like I said before we started taping, Shemane, you know, behind every great man is an amazing woman. And he just raved about you. You know, Ted called you Mother Teresa with a bow and arrow. But, you know,
but, you know, sounds Shemane, like something he would say.
Well, it's true. As a matter of fact, one of the books you've written is Kill It and Grill It. I mean, what a cool woman, you know? And you also authored Married to a Rock Star. But today, I'm excited to talk about your newest book. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm actually working on a book right now that should be out late 22. But my latest book is called 4 Minutes to Happy. It's tips and tricks that can make you happier and healthier within the pockets of your own time. Since I have been teaching group fitness classes since 1980, the number one excuse that people have for working out or not working out is there's no time. And I dispel that myth because, you know, you think about all the favorite things that you like to do in life, like whatever it is behind closed doors, or just having it, you know, biting into a juicy steak or a cupcake or whatever it is. Those things are in the pockets of your own time too. So if we make time to do those things that we need to do to keep us healthier and happier, you know, my mission in life, I'm on a mission from God to really change this world. I can't do God's good work unless I'm healthy too. And I know from experience, I don't know if you or any of your viewers know, or if Ted mentioned anything, but our home that was once featured on MTV Cribs was contaminated with toxic mold between the walls. We never saw anything. We just kept getting sicker and sicker. Wow. And this was way back around 2000, 2001. Nobody could help us. Nobody had any answers. Nobody knew how to treat toxic mold illness. So I had to become my own investigative sleuth to cure myself and my family. And I think that's put me on this mission to just, you know, I see so many people and I get messages, DMs on social media all the time. People are starting to wake up to the fact that, you know what, I bet you there's a lot of people who don't realize they've been exposed to toxic mold, and it can cause so many other illnesses. But if we could just clean the air in our homes and our cars and our offices, we'd be so much healthier. We wouldn't have to pop medication.
Well, you know, Shemane, you live what you speak. I mean, you look amazing. And I came across I'll say your ministry. I mean, you know, your organization. Of course, you do so much, you know, you co-produce Ted Nugent's Spirit of the Wild TV show. I mean, and we're going to get to some of those things too, the things that you're doing, but you live such an active lifestyle that you have to be healthy. And I was going to ask you about that. You know, you did get sick on the set of that show and stuff. And Ted did allude to the fact that, hey, man, is your house healthy? Are you making sure that you don't have dangerous chemicals in your home? And I'm just so happy that you're speaking about that. But, you know, it's wonderful to talk to someone, Shemane, who is living proof of what they preach, so to speak. And I'm behind you on that mission from God. I'm just so happy I came across. You're also on Instagram as well. Right now, what are all the ways that people can experience all the wonderful things you're doing and what you have to say?
Well, since I've been permanently suspended from Twitter, you can't reach me on Twitter anymore. But I hear the Taliban is still on, and they have a really good Twitter feed. I don't know. I've never been there, but yeah, I'm banned permanently. Ted's not banned on Twitter. Isn't that crazy?
Now, that's amazing. I
did this pro-Trump video where I was literally lip syncing. I never said anything. And it was the text on it was asking President Trump, what are you doing? When are you coming back, kind of thing. And that got me permanently banned. So can't follow me on Twitter anymore, but I am, as you said, on Instagram and also on Facebook with the blue check and YouTube as well. But I've been so suppressed. It's not even funny anymore, but I realize that, this is unfortunately the world that we're living in. We lost our First Amendment, and I'm trying to speak out as much as I can while tiptoeing around specific words or terms or phrases, which is really a shame, isn't it, Brent?
It is, because I tell you what, there was a time when journalism was alive. Who, what, when, where, why, and sometimes how, and it was just the facts, ma'am. And we've seen that go away. I was a counterterrorism national correspondent reporting on some very bad things happening with the same folks that are back in DC. But Shemane, it's wonderful to have your head hit the pillow in good conscience at night. When you report the facts, it's not journalism. It's not journalism anymore. It's activism. Well, what I like to do is journalism and present the facts. And that's what you like to do too.
I do.
Again, speaking in the lives of people. But of all the great things you've done, and the things we're going to get into in a little bit, the wonderful things you do with kids, and Ted Nugent Camp for Kids, how you're on the board of that charity too, and the Operation Finally Home with the veterans. You two are what America is all about. Aww. And you know what? Of all that you've done, Shemane, of all that you're doing, I have a feeling that you ain't seen nothing yet.
I think one of the reasons why Ted and I get along so well is that we have a lot of energy and we continue to try to make a difference in this world. And when we see problems, we try to solve them. When we see there is an opportunity for helping others, we try to do that. I mean, if Ted's got 5 minutes, he'll call somebody and wish them luck on a new job, or people who have sadly lost fallen soldiers, or police, law enforcement officers, or children dying of cancer. We've hosted them at our home. If he's got time off, and me too, we'll do whatever we can.
Wow. It's always an honor to talk to people like you, making a difference, using your gifts, using your influence, and being wise about, as Ted would say, your sacred temple. Mm-hmm. I'm amazed. He's one of the few rock stars that didn't mess up his life with drugs and alcohol. And, you guys have been married over 33 years. I have to think that you've had a lot to do with helping him as well. I know he's always had his mind determined to not pollute his temple. But Shemane, it's a whole lot easier to live healthy when your wife or your partner in life is also healthy as well. And, there's a lot of people out there looking to get in shape. I'm actually, outside of this interview, going to look forward to get with your program, because people are losing weight on this incredible thing that you're one of the many incredible things you're doing, but they're actually seeing results at any age with some things you're involved in. Are you able to talk about any of that?
Oh, absolutely. How long do you have?
We have all the time for you, sister.
I was in a lot of pain from ultimately from the home, and I had 4 different types of mold in my bloodstream, and I had pre-emphysema. I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs if my life depended on it. I used to get debilitating migraines. And even after we got out of the house, and for the most part, I was feeling a lot better, I still had some symptoms, some pain in my body. And honestly, when I found the superfood nutrition that changed my life, Ted and I started taking it about 6 years ago, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't take it. I have so much more energy. I feel better. My workouts have improved. In fact, there's one specific drink that Ted takes. It's called Amped Knox. And he takes it before every concert he does. Sometimes when he's got a heavy schedule and he's flying here and there and doing a lot of things, there's so many amazing products. It's superfood nutrition, organic, and it has changed my life. And I have helped hundreds of people lose a combined total of over 500 pounds. in the past like 5 years. So I'm on a mission from God there to share all about these superfood products. Not only is it helping people lose weight and get in shape, but I'm telling you, if you have ever had trouble with sleep, this sleep spray is thebomb.com. I mean, I will never, ever go a day without it, ever. Did I say ever?
Yeah, ever. Yeah. You said the sleep spray?
Sleep spray, yeah.
Tell us about that.
It's changed my life. There's a combination of valerian and melatonin. It's all natural. And you spray it under your tongue. Hold it under your tongue for a little bit, because that sublingually, that's the best way for this nutrition, the vitamins, to get into your bloodstream. Hold it in your mouth, under your tongue for, 10 seconds. And it's lights out. It's unbelievable. If people want more information, they can go to Wildly Well. Email me at wildlywell21@gmail.com. Somebody reached out to me on Instagram. They sent me a direct message and they said, what about all the people who are choosing not to? And I'm going to just assume that you're on the same wavelength as I am, and I have to use code words. Okay. So
Sister, you can say whatever you want.
I can?
Yes,
okay.
you can.
Well, I'm going to, instead of saying the word whatever, I'm going to say vacation. Okay. So for those people who didn't want to go on a vacation and they chose to leave their careers, their lifelong careers. They were dedicated. A year ago, we had frontline workers, doctors and lawyers and paramedics, not lawyers, but doctors and paramedics on the front lines. We were standing there applauding them as they were going into hospitals. And now they're not heroes anymore because they're not going on a vacation. So this woman said, who's hiring those of us who aren't going on that vacation, who decided not to take a vacation day? And I thought, you know what, that's a good point. So I have on my team, we're hiring people. If you want to join us, if you're like me, number one, you want to get healthy, because again, this is about, I'm being accountable. When I talk about aligning with other people, I need the accountability just as everybody else does too. So we have an accountability system. We take these products ourselves, but we're also sharing them with others. And it's just as easy as that, as me telling you all about it. Wow. And you share with other people. But you know what the great news is, Brant? What? Is that people who have decided not to take a vacation day, and parents who are so worried about what their kids are learning or not learning at school, and they want to pull them out of public school. They want to consider homeschooling, but they can't because they have to work. Right. This is a great opportunity for people to work at home in the pockets of their time and do phone calls like this and share healthy living, wellness products with other people that is changing people's lives. So it's like win-win.
That is a win-win. And in the midst of all this storm, here you are, Shemane, offering a way for people who have been formerly treated as heroes and now fired as far as a communist directive, a way for them to make a living and take their kids out of these Marxist centers. My gosh, what's next? You guys are helping the veterans, you're helping the kids, you're helping the inner city kids, you're helping everyone, you're helping people lose weight, and now you're helping also with people to develop a revenue stream and get healthy at the same time. God bless you for what you're doing, because
thank you.
You're modeling what we need to do. We've got to come together, folks. And so
we do.
At the bottom of your screen this whole time, you've seen how to get a hold of Shemane and how to connect with her. And we want you to always support the people we bring on that are pro-America, they're pro-faith, they're pro-veteran, they're pro-family, they're pro-life. And, we are the last bastion of American freedom in West Texas. But America, what happens, like Reagan said, if America goes, where do you go now?
You talked about the vacation, so I'm going to go there.
You sure can. Say what you like. Freedom of speech exists.
That's awesome. This is probably the only place left. But, if this was really about the vaccine, wouldn't the millions of people coming across the border, wouldn't they just stand at the border going, next? My eyes were opened about a year and a half ago, and I went down a rabbit hole, so to speak, and I found out a lot of things that I can't get out of my mind. I can't get these visions out of my mind, and it's sickening and disgusting and wrong. And once people realize what's really going on here, they're going to feel the same way, and they're going to, you're right, we do need to stick together. Those of us who know the truth and know what's going on. Our job, though, is we got to stay healthy, because we've got a lot of work to do, and things might get a little bit worse before they get better, because look at the gas prices. Look at the grocery store shelves right now. Where are all these people going that have been allowed to come into our borders? Meanwhile, we are losing brave men and women in our military and law enforcement, our hospitals, our paramedics, our teachers, who have to make that choice. Do I want to do something that's not aligned with my morals and values and get that vaccine? Or should I just give in? I've heard from so many people saying, I'm just going to do it because I'm going to have to get a job elsewhere if I don't do it this. But meanwhile, again, to me, it seems so logical and illogical at the same time. What about these people coming into our borders? Where are they living? And we know now that they're being flown around the country
in the middle of the night.
Middle of the night. And it doesn't take, I'm not a rocket scientist. I have just opened my eyes, but I'm going to get a little spiritual on you here, Brant.
Go for it.
The Bible talks about, if you wonder, how come people can't see this? How come people can't understand? Ted and I can't talk about, he had COVID. I'm pretty sure I had it because I had similar symptoms. I didn't get tested though. But we can't talk about what cured us. We can't talk about what we took. Vitamins, hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, vitamins A, B, C, D, E, zinc, elderberry, steroids, nasal sprays. We can't talk about any. Why is that? And if you're buying into what's on mainstream media, that's probably the first problem. But the Bible talks about, if you have friends and family that have done that, and I have close friends and family, that this is really dividing us, and it's such a shame. They want to get into the politics, the political debate, and I just have said to a few friends, you don't want to go there with me. Don't go there if you value our friendship. But here's my interpretation of why this is happening. The Bible says, not everybody who has eyes can see. Right. Not everybody who has ears can hear. Right. Our job, again, is to stay healthy and strong. Right. Now more than ever, you better darn right be putting that superfood nutrition into your body, because we got a lot of work to do. There are people who are going to wake up. You're laughing. There are people who are going to...
I'm smiling because you and your husband are living what you preach, and you actually can provide the way for people to follow your advice. People have an opinion and they have all the advice in the world, but they can't tell you what to do. Now, the reason that I didn't fit in the church, I did the youth ministry, children's ministry, worship ministry, pastor. I planted 3 churches. I did all that, but my place was more on the media, on the radio, in the streets, at the homeless shelter, boots on the ground. And so people didn't always know what to do about me, Shemane, because I tell you what to do. I'm not going to, oh, Lord, brother, I can't tell you what to do. The world doesn't respect that. And during COVID, the church hadn't had a whole lot to say. Some of them have, but most of them didn't. But you know what? I'll tell you what to do. And so I'm smiling because I meet Ted and I meet people like you, and you walk what you talk, and you have an answer and you have the avenue. And this is a breath of fresh air. I want you to know that this show is being seen on secular networks and Christian networks, and you can always speak your mind with me, Shemane. And so I'm just overjoyed to meet more people like you. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And you know what, Brant? I do have the answer. You want to know what the answer is?
What?
It's right here. You just open it. And that's what so many people fail to do. And you're laughing at me again.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I'm
preaching to the choir, right?
Well, yeah, but I love it though. And let me tell you why I love it, Shemane. You know, my father was a professional bad guy, professionally. And he came to the Lord in a powerful way, came to Jesus in a powerful way. And he changed his life. And so I am a redeemed son of a hitman. And I use my talents as a media hitman, fighting the prince of the air and putting truth out there. And so I love people and I take joy in people. When you see me smile, that's what you're seeing. I am behind you more than you know. And this is our moment. You know, I've waited 52 years for these seasons. And this is the first time in my life I've been given the green light in everything that I'm doing. And I'm just very overjoyed to see you hold up that Bible and knowing the people that will see that on these different networks and shows, because it is the truth and he is the way and he is the truth and the life. I know, I've tried it all, folks, and he is the only one that makes sense. Shemane, we don't give up anything. We don't quit dancing when we come to Jesus. We just change partners.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll say this real quick and then I want you to keep talking because you know, people don't want to give up this or give up that. Let me tell you something. You ain't giving up nothing when you come to the light, because he is everything. I gained everything when I came to him, and I'm so glad that you follow him as well.
You know what? I think that there is you mentioned the Prince of the Air. We are under a spiritual attack right now. There is absolutely no question. And when, you know, let's say somebody is drowning, you're clasping at anything. You want to grab a hold of anything because you got to keep your head above water. That's what's going on right now, Brant. You know that, I know that. But again, not everybody understands. Ephesians 6:11 and 12 talks about putting on the full armor of God. And we need to do that right now. We've got to put on that armor, and we also need to help buoy other people. You know, a lot of people reach out to me also, and every day I get messages from people saying, you know, this feels like the Twilight Zone. What's going on? This is so depressing. I've had to do a couple of things to keep my sanity, to keep my spirits buoyed.
Right. For
the most part, I don't watch TV. I do turn it on quickly in the morning to see if we're still here, to see what has happened, if anything. And then we do watch Tucker Carlson most of the time, and that's it. I have to tell you, I was a diehard fan of Entertainment Tonight. I used to buy all the rag magazines. I used to find out, okay, who's in love with who now, and what are the latest fashions, you know? I cannot watch one of those music entertainment awards shows. It sickens me. And I just get it now. I get it and I understand, but you were talking about you don't have to give up anything. No. And especially, I want to tell you too, in all honesty and transparency, I'm not perfect. I love to eat. As far as health goes, I love to eat. What I do is I'm on the 80-20 diet. 80% of what I do and eat is so clean and so healthy. Like Ted's like, there's only olive oil on this salad? Like, you know, like, yeah, dude, live with it, you know? But the other 20%, I like Fritos, I like cupcakes, I like pasta, and that's one of the reasons I'm writing a new book, because I talk about some of those things that I do. I make food swaps. You know, I try to stay keto and eliminate carbs as much as possible. So I think in my mind, I want a piece of that apple pie after dinner. So what I do is I don't have the bread or the carbs during, you know, it's a little bit of a switcheroo, but that's what I do. And so, you know, you said it so well and so eloquently. We don't give up anything. We gain so much. Yeah. And what I wanted to, just one last thing, what I wanted to share too, because I kind of going off on a tangent, but I have found so much peace in these dark times that we're living in because of God's presence in my life. And I feel this incredible spirit within me, the Holy Spirit within me, but I feel an incredible sense of peace because we can't control what's going on. You know that. All we can do is control is our responses to things and what we are doing here and now. We can't project and live in the future, but I do have an umbrella in my car. I do have a fire extinguisher or 50 in my house. So we do plan and prepare.
Well, and we're told not to be surprised at this fiery ordeal as if something weird was happening to us. Shemane, you were destined to be born when you were born. There are no accidents. There are no coincidences. There are no chance meetings. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever, who was and is to come. He works things out to the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. I started living my life like it already happened 9 years ago, and everything I do succeeds, Shemane. It's because when David said to God, my days were written in your book before I was born, it's true. When we read about Abraham, he's stuck in the story, but we know the end of the story. Well, in the same way, you can't have Genesis and Revelation without having your story, Shemane, and Ted's and mine and Christy's and all in there. And so knowing that, and then the scripture that we are seated with Christ in the heavenly realms right now, present tense means that you are watching yourself in this interview right now. And all you have to do is walk it out. You have all the freedom in the world to call me sister for any of my shows. And, I'm just so excited that we have the freedom to boldly proclaim what we know to be truth. But, we speak the truth without fear because we haven't been given a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. And so this is just the beginning. But Shemane, people like you, people like Ted, people like me, people like Caleb, the producing the show and others, when we know the unshakable, the unchangeable, the unbreakable, then we thrive during these times. We don't fear because a warrior belongs in the battle, and the battle is the Lord's. And I know that you are victorious. And I'm just so honored that you're with us today and being an ambassador of hope and life and love and happiness and health so that we can go the distance and live out this wonderful destiny that we were born to live.
Yeah, I totally agree. In the book of Esther, it talks about you were born for a time like this. And I always want to encourage people who are watching, because you never know that where God needs you. It doesn't matter if you're, a seamstress or whatever profession you have. Never, ever, 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 ever think that God hasn't put you there for a reason. Just be ready, because good things, great things are about to happen, but we have to be prepared. Thank you so much for having me, Brant. I appreciate it.
Always. And we'll see you next time.